to let you guys know, the live streams are going to be a little bit different here and there for the next week or two, kind of to get a feel for it, to see what works best. So I do apologize for it. It's going to be changing. So I'll probably be doing some in the morning, like when I usually do my quick morning update. That may be a live stream when markets open. And then maybe we'll try towards the end of markets before close, and we'll see how that works. Just trying to get a feel for it. Like I said, we've been away for a while. We're getting the channel back into forming something here. Not sure what, but with your help and your feedback, we'll get it there. Just be patient. We'll get it. But nevertheless, we'll have daily videos at least Monday through Friday. So anyways, nothing really big has happened. Obviously, no big news, no big posts for the market. So they're kind of just him-hawing around right here. HPE shares rise after activist Elliott Management takes 1.5 billion stake. Hewlett Packard, so obviously trying to get into the game with all the other AI crap. So I don't know. Not a whole lot of big news yet. Waiting on something big to either push the market up or push the market down. Let's take a look at what's going on with the DXY, still right there, lingering around 100, nothing big. This is a chart I was showing this morning. Now, I do want to zoom in here and kind of take some measurements as to the possibility of this being a Great Depression. I'm going to go through the Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, then we'll take a quick look at Bitcoin and some altcoins, and then we'll also be giving away a free $200 Prime XBT. It'll be a promo code, so it'll be a series of letters and numbers. You guys will see it in the chat. It's going to pop up in the, let's see, let me get this going. It's going to pop up in the chat here at a random point in this video. So it'll be a series of letters and numbers. Letting you guys know now, this is how we're going to be doing the $200 giveaway, account giveaway. You don't even have to make a deposit. You can start a fresh account and use this promo code in that account, and it will give you $200 to trade. Obviously, you can't take the $200 out, but you can trade it. I'm going to be doing this randomly in random live streams. I'm going to try it for the first time today in this live stream. And but then after that, it's just going to be in random live streams at random times during the live streams. I used to post them on Twitter, but Twitter is just, I'm getting spam botted to hell on Twitter. I don't know if someone's behind it or it's just Twitter is, or I'm sorry, X. I'm either getting spam botted by somebody in particular is doing it, or it's just Twitter is a spam bot haven now, and I don't know. So they could have possibly been using the codes, so I'm not going to put the codes on the X account anymore. I'm going to do them during live streams on the chat. So anyways, let's get into it. So as you know, this is our current Dow Jones on the left, Great Depression chart on the right. I'm going to get rid of, let's just get rid of that real quick. Let's just look at the big move from the top last time, right? So if we go from the top to the bottom, let's zoom in at how it all started with the Great Depression over here, right? All right, so we don't look at these candles, right? Pretty similar. I'm gonna go in there, and I've done this before. If you've already seen it, I apologize, but let's go from the top here and see how much it went down. So it went down 65%. Let's see what this one went down over here. We're gonna go from the top to the bottom right here, right? That was only 18%. What the hell is going on here? What the hell? So I don't know. Okay, so we're down 18% over here. Now, if we go from the bottom of this, right, up to the top of this rebound, it's 11.4%. Let's go from the bottom of this one to the top. Same thing, about 12%. So we could just be doing, obviously, the same type thing right here. Just a pullback, right? Oh, Oh, that was 17%. I'm sorry. I knew something was wrong there. So that was a 17% drop. This was an 18% drop. And we had talked about it after it happened. Of course, you're going to have a rebound. You got to have a dead cat bounce. Now, no guarantees that, you know, the top is in, but it's looking pretty convincing if you ask me. I think we're going to have something big. I mean, look at the things going on, you know, in the, not, you don't even have to say in the economy, right? If we just look at the things going on right now with tariffs, our president, things like that, there's some wonky shit going on. Like, it's almost surreal, right? It's almost like, I don't know, like we're living in a freaking cartoon almost. I don't know. But anyways, let's get into the rest of the charts. Let's dig in a little bit on the Dow, look at where we're at. So this is what we're looking at for the Dow, right? We've been talking about this being a possible support and resistance line right here. I'd like to see where this closes today. If we close, so it opened below, did it? Yes, it opened below the trend line. So if we close below the trend line today, which is about 40,540 points, if we close below that, then I think obviously we'll continue down from here quite a ways. But remember, we're gonna have times where, like in the Great Depression, right after the first big drop, we had this, you know, relief rally, then we had a bigger drop, and then it was 6 months of upward, but it still only retraced like 40 to 50%. So you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind. This takes time to play out, but we will be trading this, right? Whole thing, those of you that trade the markets, Prime XBT is a good way to do it. That link is down below. Like I said, sign up, because I am going to post that promo code during the video today. But I do want to also let you know, as of right now, it's almost over. I think you got another week for Prime XBT. When you sign up using my link, whatever you deposit, they'll match 100% up to $10,000. You could use that towards your margin. And if you already have an account with me, just go to the promo code section right here. This is also where you'll put the 200 promo code in, right? But you can only use one promo code at a time, so be aware of that. But right here, you click on that, and it's up at the more. Click on promo codes, and that's where you'll want to put the promo code in for the free 200 bucks today also. As you can see, this trade is still down 30,000 as of right now. I'm still in it. Like I said, I will still add more shorts, but if you guys been watching, you can see the equity in the account. Even if I took the loss right now, would be 100,000, right? We started this count with 7,000. We've already pulled 20,000 out of it. So just for those of you that don't understand trading, sometimes you got to take a loss. I don't think I'm going to take a loss on this one, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I do, because we're transparent on this channel. We show you both wins and losses. But like I said, no matter what, we're way up for the month. So, all right. So we talked about this too, the RSI on the or the Nasdaq right here. We got hidden bearish divergence. Now, we also talked about this could possibly make an inverse head and shoulders, right? And that would bring the RSI back up to here. So we could get up, retest the bottom of this wedge. But as of right now, what we need to watch is to see where this closes. If we can remain above this, right, with another open and close above, yesterday's candle did, then we may be going up to retest this area before rejection. Somewhere right in here, which will match up with the 20 MA. But if we somehow close below this, we still have half the day left for Dow to come down, everything else to come down. If we close below this, then I still think, remember guys, we almost nailed our first target. We had this target in there for months. But remember, if we break this, I see it going down. We have broken the parabola right here, just a wick. But I still believe once something like that's broken, it usually continues on through. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let me get these blue lines off here. I was playing with that earlier. So right now, Bitcoin is getting support on its 13 EMA, which is the white EMA right here. We have the 21 below that at 84.6, and then we have the 200 at 84.50 right in there. 84.600 is a 21, but this does look pretty bearish. This could have been a bull trap right here, guys. If we look at this trend line, let me make sure it's all even there, which it is. If we look at that trend line, right? We wicked above it, but we did not open and close above it. So we could have trapped a bunch of bulls right there, getting just a liquidity grab, right? Grabbing a bunch of liquidity, come back down. We'll see what happens. We can draw a, again, guys, this is a 4-hour chart. So let's, you know what? I'm going to go, let's see. I don't know why I have 2 of these right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a clean chart. I'm sure I have one here somewhere. There it is. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. I know I have a clean chart here. I pulled it up just for this. Let's see. And then we can go over some altcoins of your choice. I'm not going to make you guys give me 100 likes today. Today we're going to need at least 50 likes, right, to get the 200, the free $200 Prime XBT promo. Once we get 50, I won't tell you when, but it's going to pop up in the chat, so keep an eye on that chat. Let's see. I don't know where the hell my blank is. This one in here? No. Not sure what happened here, guys, but what I will do is make a copy of this one and add another copy, save it, and then I'm going to close that one down, and we're going to get rid of everything on here. Oops, I didn't want to get rid of the indicators. I want to get rid of the drawings. Then I'll get into the chat. So let's take a look at where we could be headed for Bitcoin. So we talked about earlier this morning, right? If we draw a trend line off of these 2 wicks here, and yes, I like to use the wicks. I know a lot of people like the candles. I like the wicks. It gives you a way more accurate look at the markets. We're going to draw trend lines off of all these, right? Just kind of look at the range we're in right now. So this one, looking at this, has broken and came back for a retest right here. So what I'm going to do, bring this down. I take a measured move because everyone's bullish here, right? So I'm going to definitely be looking for a bearish move because the markets usually take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. If we look at where the break was here, that would get us almost down to there, but not quite. So this is my next target for the shorter term for the downside. And then if we break up, I'll give you that target also. Let's see right here. We're going to put this in there and boom. That would get us back down to that 72, 73 zone, which is a damn good possibility. Kind of sweep the lows here and maybe bounce back up from there. But if we continue up from here, it could be something more like this. And we're going to change the color of this trend line after we put it up there. Like I said, this could have just been a fake out, just a wick above. But let's take a look at... Savvy, don't mention when you give the promo code. Just do it sneakily. I will. But anyways, let's see. Where's this at? Let's go to, let's make this yellow. We're gonna make it a little skinnier, right? Let's put it in here and let's just go try to find a trend here. This isn't an even channel, but I mean, it could be if we raise this up, right? Nope, still not. An even channel would get us way up to this range, which that may be what's going to happen, but we're going to go off this wick still. If we go off alternate wicks, that doesn't work out. So what we're going to do is go off this wick and this wick here. And that will also match up, as you can see, with that coming down to this trend line, possibly. That would be a pretty fast smack down. And one more thing we can look at here. Let's take a look at the divergence. So we have a lower high. We're going to make this fatter. Or we have a higher high here in the price action. And if we look at the... So these are all the things that are making me remain bearish here, right? there's hidden bearish divergence, right? We have higher highs here. I'm sorry, this is bearish divergence. We have higher highs here, lower highs here. That's bearish divergence. Watch for bullish or hidden bullish on the downside here to see when this is going to get its next bounce. But as of right now, guys, I think this just was a wick to grab liquidity and come back down. Our major line of support, let's look at our VRVP right here, is going to be right around 84.3, 84.4, same as always, right? If we go back to this chart, that's where we've always had our main support resistance line. If we break back below this, I'm looking for 77, and then obviously could go as low as 70. So 70 to 73. If we break back down in this area, which is what I'm expecting, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but we'll be keeping a keeping an eye on it. What's up, Robert? Donna? Baron Boss Lady? I would pull up my pants and show off some leg to help him get some likes, but I think people would take their likes away if I did that. Right on. Thanks for joining in, guys. Make sure you guys smash the like if you haven't already. If you are watching on your mobile, just exit the chat for a second, hit that thumbs up, and we'll go from there. Once we get 50, at some point, I'm going to post the free $200 promo code. Only first person to use it gets it. So make sure you have your Prime XBT ready. 49 likes. All right. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at some altcoins. This is our daily chart, right? The daily, from breaking down from this range up here, the daily target's about 68. And if you look, we are playing with that trend line right there, right? Where we drew it in here. Let me make this a little bit thicker so you can see it. This trend line here, we wicked above it, came below. Remember, guys, the RSI follows the body of the candle, not the wick. Let's take a look at some altcoins. What was the last altcoin we were looking at? Ondo. So Ondo is broken down from our rising channel. Our target for that, if it broke down, was right here. Well, let's raise it up just a hair. So anyone that's in Ondo, it looks like it broke down and is heading towards 74 unless it can get back inside this channel, which on this 4 hour would have to be right around, it'd have to break 86 cents. 86. Yeah, pretty much 86 even. If it breaks that in this 4 hour, it'll get it back in there. Otherwise, it rises, right? So it has to go higher. So it could, you know, it could break down, come back up for a retest, and then come all the way. But I do believe it has broken there. So this is what I would be watching for if you're playing Ondo. $51 likes, 53 likes, 62 viewers. All right. So let's take a look at XRP. XRP, same thing, guys. Still getting rejected at our 55 EMA on the daily. Your support, temporary support or near-term support is around 195. Your resistance is 224. Get above 224, and then you're looking for about 239. Get above that, 260. Get above that, and then you start looking at your higher highs. But I'm still, we got our bounce off this trend line last week, actually. Was it? Yeah, last week. There we go. Got to bounce off this one. Now this is what I'm looking for, to come back down here around this 157 range. And if it breaks this bottom trend line, you guys know our next target's around 109. And then, of course, the longer this takes, the longer this trend line goes down, the lower price I expect for there. Cardano, same thing, guys. We hit our first target, which was down here from the break of this. Right now, we seem to be just making another. Let's put this in here. We're going to make that a little bit more narrow. Take a look at where Cardano looks like it'll be going next, in my opinion. It's probably going to be breaking down here. We'll see what happens. But what I am going to do is, could stay in here for a while. It could still run up in this wedge all the way back up to 72 within the next week if it wanted to. But I have a feeling this thing's going to break pretty soon. So we're going to take a look at the next short-term target. Let me get this lined up. About there. So if it was to break today or tomorrow, this is the price I'd be looking for Cardano on the daily. We can zoom in to the 4 hour if you guys would like on these coins and try to get in a little bit better of a price. But there you go. That's looking like about 50 cents. Now, if we go down to the 4 hour, let's take a look at that. In the 4 hour, same thing, maybe a little bit different. Not much, pretty much same target. But in the 4 hour, looks like it already broke, right? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so in the 4 hour, it already broke. Looks like a retest. So if you're going off a 4 hour chart, it looks like, let me make sure this is a correct target. Nope, it's gonna be a little bit shorter. Approximately right here. We put it at the break. So around that 50, let's say 51 cents to be safe. I'm gonna raise it above a little bit. So 51 cent ish, 50 to 51 cents is where this target is for Cardano, which also will probably come and sweep this low just like Bitcoin would. If this is going to happen, it's probably going to start out with the traditional markets dumping, or if the traditional markets just keep lingering around, staying even, it'll be probably after market close, maybe sometime this evening. But yeah, traditional markets are kind of just lingering, right? Waiting for somebody to post something or the news to say something or something silly to happen, and give them an excuse to either dump on your heads or pump a fake rally, right? But that's where we're at with that. Let's take a look at, what do you guys want to look at here? Name your stock or your crypto and we'll start looking at it. Don't forget, guys, smash the likes. Even though I'm still going to be going over this stuff, make sure to smash that like, subscribe to the channel, tick the notification bell, and share the video if you would. I'd appreciate it. ICP. So I know we've looked at that. Not sure which exchange we've looked at it on. Probably Coinbase. So let's see. Yep, right there. So it looks like it broke its channel that we were watching. I don't know why that's moved, but let me see something real quick. That one actually looked like a wedge. So let's go up to the wedge. It looked like it already broke up here. So actually, we had this target of 41.3, but I think we could have a better one. Let's see here. This target, actually, we're gonna move this one up right now. This would be where my target is, and this target was from where this wedge broke. So about 440. We're at about 480 now. But most likely, guys, this is probably going to sweep the lows just like that did. We had our, at the 443 breaks, 341. So, yeah, nothing's really changed here. We're still looking at the same chart. We're getting a little bit of, no divergence here. We're getting a little bullish divergence here. But remember, we're in a downtrend. So hidden divergence is stronger than regular divergence in a downtrend. And yeah, so we're getting a little bullish divergence, but that may have been this bounce it already got and it's coming back down. So from this low here, we really don't have any divergence. So it does look like it's going to continue coming down. This actually looks like a head and shoulders forming here in the RSI with one more push to the downside. So this is where I would be looking for the 40. BSV crypto. All right, let's take a look at BSV. Maybe we'll start taking a look at smaller time frames too, if you guys are more day trading, right? So let me know in the chat if you guys are doing more day trading stuff. So apparently there isn't a whole lot of place you can trade this. BSV, where are you trading this? Because this is a pretty ugly chart. BSV US, there you go. This too looks like it broke a wedge, the same wedge as all the others. And you'll notice that in crypto a lot of times. But yeah, it just looks like it broke a wedge here too. And your target for that to finish the downside. And these targets, when I give you the targets, are probably a good place to put in like a scalp long until you start seeing another formation in the market. Let's see. This will be about $24.50 area, which would also get close to sweeping the lows there. So looks like everything may be coming down to sweep lows, but remember, that doesn't mean it has to bounce at that zone, right? It can continue down. So what it could be is like an ABC, a one-to-one extension. It could be a lot of things. But if we go from this trend break right here, see where this little trend broke? And we bring it down to the bottom. And we bring this down. Then it shows us going to about 22 cents. So, yeah, I mean, then you can go up even higher. But I wouldn't go much higher than that. So these would be my two downside targets. Of course, unless things really went crazy and got ugly, which is possible at any given moment right now with these markets. Because even traditional markets are like a shit coin right now, right? Because they move a lot with just little news, little stuff. $3 billion of XRP bought recently seems suspect. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of XRP. It's been a shill coin for a long time. It's really nothing special about XRP, right? Ripple Labs, the Ripple network, right, can have some use, but they don't need XRP to do it, right? They can put anything they want on that. So that's why I've never been a fan of XRP and probably never will be. Polar Bear Man said I sold 99% of my crypto a while ago, only building positions in scam stock currently. There are a lot of scam stocks, man. Could you say what is your feeling of the markets every day? What do you mean? What are my feelings of the markets every day? Every day it changes. And as in the macro, my feelings are the same. I think that we have a huge downfall coming in the markets. And if we don't, then it's just more inflation. The best thing for everybody right now would be this market to crash, but it's been drilled into everybody's head that the market is like, that's the economy. It's not. The economy is its own thing. The market is literally, when it's flying up like this, that's literally harder for normal people to live, and people don't get that. The markets are basically right now, all the markets is a tool that the big boys are using to take money from the little guys. And I believe eventually here, this crash is all going to be part of sucking the money out of their 401ks, screwing up a lot of pensions, things like that. If I'm right, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's where I'm thinking this thing's going. Some big hedge fund got bailed out, trillions. Yeah, hedge funds, they're part of the problem, right? But who always makes money no matter what? Should be the fund managers and stuff, right? Because they get paid commission off or monthly dues or whatever, however they're set up. They're all set up a little different, but they're taking in money even when people are losing money, right? And I have a feeling a lot of them guys are going to lose their jobs when all this is said and done. And if you are familiar with what happened in 1929, lots of people were jumping out of windows in the high-rise buildings. Just a lot of people losing a lot of money. And a lot of people say, well, they could just shut the markets off. Well, they could shut the markets off for a day, 2 days, whatever. When they turn them back on, then people can keep selling. And eventually there's just nothing they can do about it, right? They have to let it go. And the market needs that, in my opinion. It needs a washout. It needs to get rid of all this garbage, all these over-leveraged gamblers, all this craziness, right? It would be the best thing for the markets and the best thing for the middle class, in my opinion. Make sure you guys smash the likes, guys. I'd appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, like I said, keep an eye out for, you know, make sure your notification bells are ticked, because that's going to let you know. That's going to let you know when we're, see something here. It's going to let you know when I go live, and that'll obviously, hold on, I got some weird chat coming up here. Oh. Okay, I got it now. Sorry about that. Okay. Where was I? Smash the likes. What do you think of Sailor? I think he will be bankrupt. I'm gonna say he won't go bankrupt, right? And we could talk about that. I can tell you what my opinion of what's going on there is. Let me pull up his chart real quick. So, and let's get rid of all the drawings for a second, right? So this is MicroStrategy, right? This is the .com bubble, where they said he was the biggest loser of the .com bubble. But all in reality, he wasn't the biggest loser. It said he lost like $7 billion or whatever, but he didn't lose it, right? The company lost it. His investors that were throwing money into it because he was pumping it. He paid for Super Bowl commercials, right? To go over a lot of .com stuff to get people to buy into it back here, right? And that was right at the top. So if you look at it, what I think he does, right, is he gets all these investors excited because his company's garbage. It's garbage. It's worth literally the shares are worth like $1, right? But he always comes up with some kind of sham he's a gambler, right? But what happened here, he owns all these shares, right? He still owns a ton. He sold a ton up here, made a shit ton of money, while everybody that was believing his bullshit lost all their money, right? So he was selling, right? And then he bought his stocks back here and had tons of money left over. Here's who lost: all the people that were investing in his bullshit, right? That's who lost in the .com bubble. He didn't lose. And who knows, with Bitcoin, he could be, you know, personally buying it, a ton of it, and dumping it and not telling everybody. He always says, we'll never sell. They'll sell. But anyways, so what happens here? He did the same thing. Bitcoin came along just like the .com bubble, right? Got everybody thinking, man, he's so smart, he's brilliant, and he talks all this good game. But if you watch videos on him back in 2010 to 2015, he hated Bitcoin, said it would never succeed, it was garbage, stupid thought, no money should ever be based on electricity, blah, blah, blah. He said all this crap. But then when he realized, oh my God, I could do the same thing as I did back here. So his stocks are worth a shit ton because he has, you know, $5, $3, $2 stock that is now hundreds, right? And I'm pretty sure he probably started selling a lot up here, and he'll sell more here, and he'll sell more here. But I think that he does a lot of this stuff personally and not on the company level where he has to report it, if that makes any sense to you. But anyway, I think that's his hustle. He's not gonna go broke. Everybody that's following and believing in him will go broke, and he don't give two shits about him. Looking at tariffs leading to the roaring 20s. I'll do that, Meek. Obviously not going to do that right now, but I will definitely do that. Can you please check Lucid Group, because some businessman is calling $1 Lucid. Want to know if it's possible to see it in the charts. Yeah, I think we've looked at Lucid before. Let me get over to my shitcoin chart. Lucid. And that's a stock, right? Was it a stock? Yeah, it's got to be a stock. Lucid Group right here. Yeah, we had talked about it. I don't know about $1. Obviously it could go to $1. But this is where I was thinking last time we looked at this chart, right? This is a 4-hour chart. About $2 right here. there's nothing really saying $1 unless they drew a trend line off of here, right? Which we can do. And if that's the case, then yeah, it could probably go down to $1, $1.50, or, you know, draw a trend line off here. It's possible, right? But it's got to break that 199 support first. And if it went to $1, I don't know. Let's see, we couldn't do it off of there. So it'd be a while. If we get down there, I'd say the earliest that you could see $1 would be probably towards that August, July, end of summer here. It's not legal for director to dump. Is it not illegal for director to dump stock? Celsius guy did it with Celsius coin for. Look. Palm, look around. Look at all the BS going on. They don't care anymore. They let everybody get away with everything in the stock markets. It's like a freaking Wild West free for all. That shit don't matter anymore. I think it will at a point, and I think that's why certain higher up people are playing in it now, doing the crap, because it's going to be coming to an end. When all the scams get washed out, when the garbage gets washed out, when the over-leveraged gamblers get washed out, when the Great Depression 2.0 happens, things will change. But until then, it's a freaking madhouse. But that's what I see right now. Just total freaking nutty chaos, you know, just big money in control of the news you hear. And I'm not talking about the political news so much. I'm talking about whatever they got to talk about to get on here. Just like I talked about CNBC, MSNBC, all those financial channels. They're just shillers, right? They have fund managers that pay to go on there, YouTubers even that pay to go on there. They get their time slot, and it's just a shill. It's a shill. Savvy, read what I read on the top. What'd you put on the top, Maria? How far up is it? I need to share something. Yesterday I was watching Greek documentary. They were saying that financial crisis didn't even start yet, and that they are afraid that all over the world things are going to be much worse than 2029. It reminded me of what Savvy's been saying for 3 years now. Yeah, I mean, it's coming, man. It's going to be bad. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you bought in the last 10 years. You're going to be at a loss, man. If it happens the way I think, which I do think it will. So, damn delivery. I swear, I think I get more deliveries than any human. Anyways, so we have 78 viewers and 70 likes. Not bad. I appreciate you guys taking a second out, smashing that like. Let's see how our poll's doing up here. The poll is, I put, your opinion on the stock market today is 40% bearish, 22% bullish, 30% neutral, and 7% FU savvy. I love you guys the most. Is it possible that tariffs make people spend less and turns into disinflation? I don't know. I don't, honestly, with this tariff crap, I don't know. You got so many people looking at it so many different ways, and I don't think anybody's right. But like I said, I was buying stuff from China, container loads of equipment, 40-foot containers packed full of equipment, and I had to pay the tariff, right? They didn't pay the tariff. I paid the tariff. Donna said, I think I got it. Right on. Hold on a second, guys. What's going on? Hold on. Yep, another delivery. Exactly as I suspected. Bummer, Donna. I'll be doing them pretty regularly on the live stream, so remember that when you're on the live stream. If you don't have an account, set one up just to have it. Like I said, you don't even need to put money in it. It's an automatic. Once you put it in, it's $200 tradable. so you can trade it and keep all your winnings. Is Tesla going down? Ash, we can take a look at Tesla. I like the Tesla chart. As I've talked about for years, I am a buyer on Tesla at 40 to 50 bucks, and I still think there's a good chance that we get there. Oh, where is my Tesla chart? Here it is. So right now, your support on Tesla is way down here. You're about to have your 55 cross your 200, which is pretty damn bearish. Last time that happened was over here. Over here. I mean, look what happens afterwards. That was a big drop. So these are my targets, 42, 106, and 151. They were the same over here, but you got that bounce off the 106 and it continued up. I still think we're coming down to these levels. I see no reason we shouldn't. But yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, guys. 151 is the main spot to watch for a bounce here. Once this trend line is broken, right, on the bottom here. Once that trend line's broken, we're looking at, if we break the 152, you got your 106 level again, right? And then you got 42 after that. So, like I said, between 40 and 60 bucks is where I'm looking to buy a shit ton of Tesla. And I think that's where it'll go when the markets do what they're going to do, in my opinion. Medium Mashup said, I like the lunchtime update. It soothes the nerves. Who got the promo? Trent? Well done, man. Congratulations. Good luck on trading that, man. I hope you make tons of profit and you get to pull tons of profit from that. So, all right, guys, don't forget, if you guys are interested in trading, Prime XBT, use my link down below. You get 100% deposit bonus up to 10,000. And that you can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, even MicroStrategy, things like that on Prime. That's why I love it. You can use your crypto to trade against traditional markets. And then there's BITUNIX, another sponsor of the channel down below. Both of them have videos, tutorials there to kind of give you a quick show how to use them. You also you can get up to like 5,400 in bonuses if you do certain things in BITUNIX. They'll ask you to tweet it, things like that. But that link is also down below for those interested. Right now, there is a contest going on that I've told you about. And your top prize is Model 3. This is on BITUNIX. Top prize is on Model 3 or $35,000, a Rolex or $12,000. Third prize Vision Pro or $4,000. Sony Alpha 7 RV or $2,000. And then you have the iPhone 16 Pro or $1,200. And then you have the Apple Watch or 280 bucks. Right here it is. I also have an X post on that for you guys to check out, or you can go to our Discord. That's also free down below. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will catch you in the next video. Like I said, I will be given plenty of time before the lives, but I think tomorrow I'm going to try a live at market open instead of my little 8-minute pre-market recorded. But how I'll do it is when I start the live, I'll do just like I normally do with the 8-minute, and then my live, and then afterwards, then I will be communicating with you guys. So I hope to see you there tomorrow morning. Make sure your notification bells are ticked. Then you just don't got to worry about it. You'll know whenever I'm getting ready to post a live or a traditional video. So again, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and I am